Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going over one of the fastest ways to level your clades and make a ton of gold at the same time. This is an easy method to follow and even new players can use it to stack up hundreds of gold and level their clades. And we'll be starting off in Meduli. If you want to make a lot of gold while leveling your clades, first head to the animal librarian near the butchery table in town. Then buy the Incisium lore book for 2 gold and 50 silver and begin learning it. This will enable you to get Incisium when you butcher the carcasses you're gonna get, and Incisium is very valuable to players. One stack of Incisium goes for 30 to 50 gold or even more in Meduli alone, and you can take back 5 or 6 stacks with you on one run if you'd like. Make sure you have some basic armor, a longbow, a short bow as well with a few hundred arrows for each type, some bandages and some food for your horse as well as horse bags. I'd recommend bringing armor for your horse too, because you'll be far away from the city and you could run into players who want to kill you at any time. Once you got all that, head out of the city and just follow the path you see here. We're gonna head far south of Meduli to get to one of the main Satyr camps. Satyrs are the big reptile animals with spears, and they can hit pretty hard, but they go down easily with just a few hits from a longbow. They offer a ton of Clade XP, and you can farm them as long as you'd like, as they respawn pretty quickly too. If you want to focus on leveling your Clades above all, you can just kill them without picking up their loot, but if you want to make stacks of gold at the same time, or collect the materials that they drop for crafting armor yourself, you can do that too. Keep an eye on your horse's stamina bar, and if you want to be safe, I'd recommend keeping it above 80% at all times. If you want to keep it lower you can, but there's always a good chance of running into players and they won't all be friendly. Keeping your horse's stamina high at all times offers you the best chance of getting away or being able to defend yourself if you're attacked. So I'd recommend sticking to 80% or above, but if you want to play it a bit more risky and get there a bit sooner, it's totally up to you. It's easy to get lost, but just follow the path you see on screen if you're unsure about where to go, and over time you'll learn it pretty well. It really does take a while to fully learn, and even I still get lost on my way there sometimes, but you pretty much want to head south as safely as you can in the beginning, making sure not to fall down any steep cliffs, and you'll eventually see a rock shaped like a shark tooth off in the distance, and when you do, you'll want to just head towards that and keep following the path that you see here to eventually go further down near the coast. It does take a while, and traveling with armor on your horse will slow you down, but there could always be players around, and so it's better to be safe and ready to defend yourself. You can always look into getting a faster horse as well as lighter armor for it if you'd like, and you could also look into getting the swift and controlled riding skills, which will make your horse run faster and use less stamina in general to help when it comes to traveling long distances like this. It's normal to get a bit lost or have to backtrack too, like I had to do here, but over time you'll get a lot better at making your way, and it will really come down to experience. Either way, keep following the path you see here and you'll eventually get to where you're going. Be careful not to go over any cliffs by mistake or go too fast when going down steep hills, or your horse could die. It happens a lot, and so you want to go down as safely as you can and avoid any rocks that might look bugged if you happen to see any. You'll know that they're bugged if you see them, and trying to go into or over them usually won't end well for you. As you keep going, you'll eventually come up to a small satyr camp with a few satyrs there that you can farm. You just gotta hop off your horse and bow them down. You'll find that they go down pretty easily, but sometimes more than one will come for you at the same time. Be prepared to hop back on your horse if you need to and run away, or at least get some range and then swap to your short bow so you can bow them down safely before healing back up and looting them. As you loot the satyrs, the best thing to do in general is just pick up all the carcasses at first and then transfer them over to your horse's bags until they're full, and then when you're safe, move them all over to your inventory and butcher them fast. After that, you'll want to move all the raw materials over to your horse's bags again, but depending on what you want here, some materials are better to leave behind or destroy, and we'll go over that soon. For now, just loot the satyrs that you've killed here and keep everything looted. If you're unsure of what to keep or throw away at this point, then hop back on your horse to continue going to the main satyr camp following the path you see here. There are faster ways to get to where we're going, but following the coast is the easiest way and will help you avoid getting lost. Look around you as you keep going to be aware of your surroundings, but also take note of any landmarks or areas that stand out to you so that you can start to recognize them over time. In the beginning, it will be really hard to know where you are or recognize much, but if you travel here often, you'll start to recognize a lot of things and know where you are or where you need to go a lot more easily. As you finally arrive at the main satyr camp, take a look around to see if you spot any other players. They could be watching you or fighting the satyrs there already, and you never really know who you'll run into at any time. If nobody's there, or you think that anyone who might be there is friendly and won't attack you, begin killing the satyrs and looting them. Over time, you'll get a lot more efficient at this But just keep killing and looting them, and as you butcher their carcasses, you'll see that you get a few different kinds of materials. Depending on how long you plan on farming Sators, you'll want to think about what you should keep or throw away. If you plan on staying for a long time, you'll want to focus on keeping only 1 or 2 types of materials, the most profitable being Incisium, which goes for 30 to 50 gold per stack or more on the trade broker. Horn scales go for around 20 gold per stack, so those are pretty valuable too. Bone tissue is worth way less, so you should always destroy it, and keel scales aren't worth much either at just 6 gold a stack on the trade broker. Satyr meat is also not worth much, so that should be destroyed in most cases as well. You'll really want to prioritize Incisium and horn scales above everything else, and only keep anything worse than that if you don't plan on staying long enough to fill up your bags with those 2 materials. Keep killing and looting Satyrs, and when you feel like you've looted enough and want to head back, just follow the same path back. Follow the coast back to where you found the first smaller Satyr camp, then head up the hill from there and continue south. If you get lost, try to head east or southeast more than west or southwest, as you can always get back to Meduli from the east, but if you keep too close to the west on the way back, you might find that you actually can't pass through, depending on where you go. At this point, you'll have a lot of loot and will really want to be especially careful of other players, so keep your horse's stamina bar high as mentioned and be prepared to run or fight if you have to. Keep going back, and once you finally get back to town, get some gold by either selling some of the lower quality materials to a vendor or taking it out of the bank, and then head to the trade broker to sell the more valuable Incisium and horn scales. If you prefer, you could also keep these materials if you want, but if you plan on selling them, search for each type of material and see what the going rates are, then undercut the competition for the quickest gold or set a price that you're more comfortable with if you don't mind waiting longer, and then list them. When all is said and done, you'd have made a good amount of gold and leveled your Clades quite a lot. The more time you spend farming, the more Clades XP you'll get and gold you'll make, and you can easily make over 100 gold per run following this method. Just be careful out there and consider going with a friend or 2 for more safety. This might not be the best or fastest way to make gold out there, but it is one of the fastest ways to level your Clades up so that you can be on par with veteran players who already have them maxed out, and you can make a good amount of gold at the same time. Anyway, that's it for this video guys, but I hope it helps some of you out there. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll do my best to help you out if I can. Please leave a like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.